Yo, what's up, guys? What's up? I need to fix something and check my mic. I have a new mic and I needed to set up everything. So let me know if the sound is great like that. If it's too if the volume is too high, let me know. I will turn it down. If it's not loud enough, let me know. So most people that were on the channel know me from 2 years ago, and yeah, I'm a normal guy. I am very passionate about this space. I'm in this space since 2015, where I took my first look on the charts and what Bitcoin really is and stuff like that. So I have quite a long journey in the markets. I also trade the normal markets like forex, commodities, indexes, and stuff. But the YouTube channel's main focus for the moment is cryptocurrency. And obviously, why I am live today is because we broke structure, we broke the highs, which was very important, as I talked about in my other live sessions, which are still on active on my channel. So I will always let my lives on my channel, so you can take a recap of it and basically, yeah, catch on. And we we talked about this fair value gap that was here. I think the video I made was on 4th December, and that was basically when we just entered that imbalance. So now I tried to dissect my video in a few steps. The first steps will be welcome, obviously. Then market watch, just a little bit talking about about the markets. Then technical analysis, where we go deeper into the analysis. Then I talk about a few altcoins that you want me to make an analyze on, no matter which one. I will go over the chat. Yeah, great, man. I have a new mic. It was time. It was time. So now I believe you hear a different voice. You hear the real voice. Okay, great. So, and then the last is bull run mindset. Why I choose this is because a lot of people think they struggle the most when there's a bear market, but I believe that it is the hardest to take as much profit as possible in the bull run. So that's why we're going to talk about the mindset in a bull run. So I would say market watch. We are not far away from the Bitcoin ETF approval. I will not say something, or I am not the type of guy speculating on a date. When something is coming out, I don't like to do that because it can just confuse people and give them an idea of something that will not happen. Okay, so everything I base on is on, let's say, research with evidence. I will always show why I think something is happening and why a price for me can rise as high as it goes. Some projects I don't know why they go up, just I understand momentum and narrative. So not every coin I can explain quite well what they will do in the next 5-10 years, but projects like XRP I have quite some knowledge on and know where they are going, what they are doing, and how they are placing themselves. So yes, what was very important now for Bitcoin was that we didn't broke that 40k, which we didn't. We hold above that. We had a consolidation, and now in the night during my time, we pumped above the highs. So this fair value gap, as you see, a fair value gap is very strong. In this case, it was a resistance. Now we have a smaller fair value gap in the daily. The other one was in the weekly. So weekly fair value gaps are always stronger than smaller time frames. So every fair value gap you see on a smaller time frame will not be as relevant as a bigger time frame. So now we broke the weekly fair value gap, which shows that the buyers are still stronger than the sellers. We had at CoinGlass, you can see that today we had a lot of liquidations. Let's say the past 24 hours, we had a lot of short liquidations. 200 million, which 130 million come from short squeeze. And the most of these liquidations happened in the last 12 hours. So always when I see here, for example, there are more longs getting squeezed than shorts in the last 12 hours, but in the last 24 hours, you can clearly see that it's almost double, not exactly, but it's a lot more shorts getting liquidated than longs, because people thought now Bitcoin has reached its, 44K 500, now we're going to see a correction. And because there are also the smart investors, they think like, when the Bitcoin ETFs comes out, that the price will dump. Just because when you look here at the website, I don't know where it is, exchange options. No, where is it? Long short liquidation map. Do I need to log in? I don't want to log in right now. Supercharged data. So can we find it here? I like to show it because for me it shows something very interesting. And this is that when you look at the bubble index, this is like when they say Bitcoin is a bubble, and the bubble is just means that the price is higher than it should be. Okay, so in this case you see that the last time we were negative in bubble index, so the interest was negative, or the price was actually underpriced, was back here at the bottom of last bull run. Then we had obviously the bull run, and now where we came down here, even the FTX crash, we had a positive bubble index. Here people were still active in the market, and then here you can see that a lot of people took profits. Okay, so that's what crashed the market at that particular time. For me, it was just a retest of that wedge that was created here during a few months. So after the next pump, from that point on, I believe, from here on, I believe that it was the big institutions scooping up Bitcoin, pushing up the price higher until ETF is coming. So if the trend, Google Trends, which shows how much people look for Bitcoin on Google, is basically at an all-time low. At the same time, the price is rising. So for me, these are purely institutions and, let's say, the crazy crypto guys as we are accumulating. But this is not retail pushing the price, okay? So it's solely the big guys that push the price. And the moment the ETF comes out, you need to realize that that companies like Grayscale and all these companies that hold a bunch of Bitcoin since years couldn't really dump it on the market legally. Okay, so once the ETF comes out, they can sell some Bitcoin. So now I personally believe they obviously will not dump all the Bitcoin before a bull run, but you can expect some kind of correction when the news comes out. Okay, and this is also the last correction before we go to all-time highs, in my opinion. Okay, So as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am just an enthusiast. This is for entertainment. We all are here together and we try to figure out what will happen next. And this is why I am here and I love doing it. So don't take any advice from me. Don't invest because something I say. And yes, that would be a very bad idea. So it's just to give you a common sense of how I see the markets. I mean, we have all the same chart, but we have all different interpretations of the chart. And I like also to look at, let's say, on-chain data. And this is one of the things I like to see, because I was very surprised the first time I saw this graphic here. Because I was like, it's basically when it bottomed out in 2018-19, we had this negative index. And now we are still negative and the price is searching. So this is really, really interesting for me. Because, I mean, everything can happen. So I can say now, yeah, Bitcoin needs to correct before it breaks all-time highs, but it could do whatever it wants, because people cannot buy market cap. People cannot buy Bitcoin as many as they want. People just can buy liquidity. If there is no liquidity, people need to push the price higher so that new sellers are willing to sell their Bitcoin. Okay? So you can always just buy what other person is selling. So even if there is 21 million Bitcoin, there is surely not even 10 million on the market, okay? There is not, I don't even believe that there is like 15% of the supply on the market in order books, ready to be sold or bought, okay? So this is what moves the price. The market cap doesn't give you, market cap is just a psychological thing, how people look at how high a price can go. But basically, it does not mean for Bitcoin, for example, to go from 1 trillion market cap to 2 trillion. It doesn't need, there's no need to be 1 trillion influx in volume into the Bitcoin blockchain. There is just what you need to ask yourself is, how many of these Bitcoins are really liquid to buy right now? So let's say the last order is set at all-time highs, okay? And after that, there is no, let's say, sell limits, okay? So no market makers putting their sells at some particular prices. There are, but I mean the short limit orders or sell limit orders are before all-time highs. Okay, after all-time highs, we name that price discovery, because basically when there is nothing to buy anymore, when the price is at all-time highs, that means that all the sell limits that were created since we had the bottom were all bought up. Okay, and once they are all bought up, there needs to be a new seller for them to buy it up. So this is why they dump prices, they pump prices, and then when there is not enough liquidity anymore because the sellers got squeezed out, then they need to dump the price if they are not willing to buy at these prices. Let's say now you're a big bank and you didn't bought Bitcoin since now. So understand that if they are willing to pay, let's say 45k for a Bitcoin, then they buy, okay? So they will start buying for hundreds of millions of dollars. So let's say the next big sell orders which match their liquidity influx, which means, let's say they put in 100 million, but combined all the sell orders in the order books of Bitcoin are accumulated from clients, make a net sum of, let's say, 100 million. So they would have an average price between 45k and 80k, which would be their average buying price. So if that average buying price is too high for them, They need to give people an idea or the FOMO to sell. Because maybe you are not ready to sell right now at 45k, but maybe you are ready to sell at 80k. If you are ready to sell at 80k, they can buy them up, okay? So once you are starting to sell and people are long leveraging, that means a big correction or retracement will be in front of the door, because this is the liquidity they need, okay? And this is the price they want to buy next. Because imagine you are a hedge fund and you have $1 billion to invest in, but you know if you put in 50 million, you push the price up 5%, let's say. It's not like that, but it's just an example. So every big money you put into the market, you move the price. And to not move the price too much, or to buy at an average price, you need to put in money, pump the market, bring in people long leverage, then long squeeze them, take all that liquidity out, bring the price back lower, and reaccumulate, and do the same over and over again. So you can basically hold the price stable by at the same time you are accumulating. So if we buy with a few thousand or a few €100,000, it's not moving the markets. But if you have millions and billions of dollars that you want to buy, you need to do it that way, because otherwise your average entry price would be terrible, okay? If now you would, let's say, the banks or BlackRock or something wants to put in $1 trillion into Bitcoin, they could not buy it instantly, because it would just pump the price over 100, 200, 300k instantly. Okay, this is how less liquidity is in the market. Okay, so don't confuse yourself with market cap. I also believe this bull run we're gonna exceed expectations of market cap in people's minds, because people are fixed into believing that some kind of value in market cap defines where a project is standing or not. So when Bitcoin breaks these highs that we don't expect, we also raise our expectation for altcoins. Okay, so all these market cap things you put in your head, even rich people do it because they don't care. Rich people don't care. Okay, if you make $1 million a month, you don't care. You can measure it in market cap and say, oh, okay, I entered a 20 million market cap, it's now at $1 billion market cap, and now it would be quite the top. Okay, you can look it like that, okay? But I mean, real adoption and utility can bring these market caps so high that you cannot even grasp it right now, because it's too high for our imagination, okay? So, for example, I don't know, I like to explain it with XRP because I know what they are doing. They are suppressed since 2000 days, okay? So we clearly see someone wanted to accumulate all this time, okay? So they intentionally were pushing the price down or holding the price down, because they wanted to accumulate not just 1 year, not 2 years, not 3 years, but 4 or 5 years. So now the question is, are they finished accumulating? And if yes, okay, if they are not dumping, and as everyone knows, XRP or Ripple is releasing from their escrow every month 1 billion XRP. But you need to ask yourself, if 1 billion XRP hits the market, why is the market not crashing 30-40%? Because the escrow which is released is directly rebought by big institutions and Ripple themselves. Okay, so at the beginning, I know 3 years ago, there was a guy, I think it was Mike Novogratz, he's a billionaire, also in crypto, he's a big entrepreneur, and he said, XRP is great, but the majority is held by an escrow which is controlled by Ripple, which means that Ripple controls basically the supply and the demand whatsoever. But as long as the banks, the big banks, the central banks, the elites and the families cannot control the chain, they are not interested in using it. So nobody is talking about who is rebuying those escrow unlocks. We know that Ripple are buying up these unlockings, but who is also there buying those coins to get a bigger and bigger and bigger supply? Other institutions like BlackRock. Why? Because they understand what money velocity is and how important it is when you need a lot of liquidity, when you have a lot of debt. Okay, so for example, all the world's money, let's say 2022, this is just to give you an idea. Ripple and BlackRock ISDA. So here you can see that Ripple joins BlackRock and JP Morgan as member of leading trade association. Okay. International swap. So it's a San Francisco based blockchain company, Ripple. They have joined the trade organization International Swap and Derivative Association, which is basically the biggest market in our economy. As you can see here, to prove it, you have here basically the market caps of, let's say, crypto. This was in 2022, so 760 billion. We are now over a trillion, but there is not a big difference. It's just to make the point that if you scroll down here and you realize that they are going for derivatives and not just liquidity and on-demand liquidity, they are aiming to get their hands on the biggest market that is existing. Okay, this is the national value and derivative markets, which consists $600 trillion in value. But it's now even more. It's $1.2 quadrillion. Okay, $1.2 quadrillion moving in derivative every year, and every year there are quadrillions of volume that need to pass. Okay, so this is what they are aiming for right now, to settle quadrillions of dollars per year. Okay, as you can see. Examples of derivative futures contracts, also crypto futures, forward contracts, options, all these stuff are derivatives. It is basically a contract on a material value, or you can basically make a derivative of everything. Okay, so for example, you can trade the Nasdaq. The NAS 100 is a derivative of the Nasdaq. So basically, derivative is around every value in the world, okay? And this is what they are aiming for, okay? And this is also why they talk about this outraging prices that it can hit. And it's not impossible for it to hit, okay? It's just that when is the question and how long does it take? Okay, people talk about an instant $100 XRP or whatsoever. I don't believe it. Okay, everything is possible, but I don't believe it. But you need to understand where the value comes from on these chains. Okay, Ethereum is a developer blockchain that doesn't work anymore. You pay $80 of gas fees to swap basically any amount of tokens. So let's say normal people or poor people cannot even swap on Ethereum anymore when there is a lot of volatility and momentum, because it's too expensive. Okay, and that's the problem. How do you want to transact trillions of dollars per day, or billions or whatsoever per day, if it's not even capable of handling $400 billion? Okay, and this is a market cap, not liquidity. Okay, this is not what actually runs through the chain, and this is what people don't understand. Okay, so yes, is it possible we go up from here? Of course it is. So now we go over to technical analyze, and let's check where our next, but if we already touched all our targets or if there is something open. So this target is already hit, and that was basically just the power created here from the bottom with its retracement, which was also a 50% retracement before it pumped back up and created new highs. Then we broke this high here, consolidated for a few months, came back down, pumped up, but didn't really broke the highs with candle close, and then we started pumping. And then we had this confusing rising channel, rising wedge, however you want to call it. So that was a very, very dangerous time in Bitcoin, because it could have, as here, just quickly go under, retest, and go back down, fill these gaps here. Okay, but it didn't do that. On the other side, I just showed you the majority of volume and momentum comes from institutions buying, as this one too. Okay, so you can also see the volume here is higher than where we try to break out. So the volume is increasing by pumping. This is a very good sign. Okay, so now I believe we could see at least this pump here again from here. Okay, so let's say 48 to 50k Bitcoin is not impossible. Okay, before the ETF launch. I mean, it could launch at any moment, but yes, this is prices I would focus on these prices, not on all-time highs or stuff. I would really, if you want to nail the markets, look where it goes short term. I have people that wanted to buy Bitcoin here at 35k, and I said to them, listen, it's very dangerous, because we can come back to 30k, retest that level and go back higher. Okay, at that point we were in this channel, then we broke out of it, and we had a very important level here because it was the last high before the capitulation. So there we are right now. And basically, until the end of the week, we cannot say anything about what is going to happen. Okay, so if we manage to break, let's say I take this away because now we know what it is. So if we manage to break this high with close on the weekly, so in 5 days and 7 hours, we need to close above 45,287. If that happens, these targets we are gonna met quick. Okay, if we close back under, we need to wait for the next week. If the next week rejects and breaks these lows here, we're gonna go close this gap here. Okay, it's as simple as that. There's not much to say. Same for everyone else. So now we had a little bit of an altcoin season. I don't want to say altcoin season, but a lot of altcoins have pumped, and clearly you can see we broke structure now here on the 4 hour. Let's take the daily. So now we broke structure to the downside on the daily. Okay, which means that the Bitcoin dominance is most likely trying to reclaim these fair value gaps before going further down. Okay, then what was interesting is that we had this was the real top. Okay, this was the real top. This was FOMO. Okay, this was people pushing up Bitcoin price because everyone saw Bitcoin price going up. Most people don't know, I mean Solana, most of the people know, but things like Injective, Render, and all these roll bits, all these tokens that pumped extremely hard brought the Bitcoin dominance down. Okay, which is a good sign. So this is also because of Ethereum that pumped. Okay, so Ethereum broke out. As you can see here, we are already higher in that pump than Bitcoin. Okay, not in the overall scheme of the bear market, but just in the last few days since here. Okay, we did more percentages in Ethereum than we did in Bitcoin, and that's why the dominance is falling, plus all the other coins pumping makes the price of the dominance go down. So I see a lot of liquidity in a higher time frame, so we could see Bitcoin pump back up again, take the liquidity out here, and then consolidating or So if that happens, if the dominance is going back at 55, I believe the 48k are in. Okay, so maybe we're gonna get a push here to that 48k to 50k, then do a sideways action, and in that sideways action we see Ethereum pumping. Okay, and that would mean altcoin season. Okay, so all these other altcoins would pump everyone to catch up. Okay, so the problem is when Bitcoin, for example, now gains like 55% dominance, and then the Bitcoin whales, and when the ETF is proved everyone is dumping, would mean that it has over 55% of the dominance of the market, and it's losing, let's say, 30% of its value. So if it's over 50% of the whole crypto market, and it dumps 30%, what do you think is going to happen in the altcoins? So this is the major danger we have before the big blow off. Okay, so in that case, don't think about, oh, I lost my money. You didn't lost your money. You lose your money when you sell. Okay, so if that happens, let's say worst case scenario, we come down here, okay, to let's say even 50 cents, let's say even to 40 cents. Okay, you can sell here and lose, but you also can buy, and when it pumps, then you have a lot more coins at a better average price, and this is what you need to aim for before bull run. Okay, so when the price drops, be happy, not sad. Okay, I know it's hard for people that didn't sell at the top to say, buying again, it's dipping again, I'm losing my money again. It is how it is, guys. The moment it happens, you will look back and laugh. Okay, so stay strong and accumulate when it goes down. Okay, crypto will stay, it will not go away. Okay, and when it happens, be ready to take profits. Okay, you need to be ready to take profits. If you are not ready to take profits, you will lose in this market. You can make a lot of money and lose it all. Okay, so it's very important. Nobody, let's say nobody was getting broke because they took profits. You only get broke because you don't take profits. So don't try to take out the last dust grain in the market, but try to dollar cost average out of your favorite coins once they start pumping. I mean pumping over the highs. Until we break all-time highs, you can chill, you can buy. After we break the all-time highs, you don't buy anymore. This is very important. Once we hit all-time highs, your mindset needs to switch from buying to selling. Okay? This is the most important thing. Yeah, altcoins. I mean, we can take a quick look. Quant is pumping. Solana, amazing pump. Okay? This is not the right watch list, sorry. We have so many coins. HBAR did 6% today, breaking the highs too. So we have a lot of upside coming for the altcoins too. We had a lack of performance in the altcoins. Just a few altcoins like Render, like Injective, like Big Time, not even Big Time, how is the name? Rollbit, all these coins, Pipi, and all these things that already pumped. Okay, so now you need to focus on which coins didn't pump yet and have the utility and have low market cap relative to their utility. Okay, don't just try to invest in mini market caps like 5, 10, 20 million and hope to take out 100 to 1000x when you don't even understand the project. This is degen, and on the long term you are not gonna win. You can win for 5 years, for 10 years, and then lose it all. So stay conservative in a raging market. Okay, crypto is a raging market. Don't over leverage and don't overexpose yourself. If you're ready to lose everything, go all in. If you're not ready to lose everything, do not go all in. Okay, for the rich people, I always say use 1% of your net worth that you have invested in something else, just take 1% out and invest it in the right projects, you will make 10 times more money with just 1 to 5% of your net worth that you have invested than leaving them in the investments you have right now. This is fact, and this is fact for the last 10 years, and you can say whatever you want, the market is showing you something different. Okay, Phantom catched up too. Gala still very low. This is bullshit. There's so many coins, I don't even know. If you have a coin, let me know. Write it in the comments, because I will stop the live for today in a few minutes. So if you have preferred coins you want me to make an analyze on after you see the video load up, you just write a comment down below. I want these coins to be watched over in the next live, and then I will do this for you. So other than that, Cardano also had an amazing pump from its Gulag lows. Yeah, 185% and still up. If you bought here the lows, let's say you bought here around the lows, you are still up over 100% on Cardano, which is great. Maybe as Alex Becker says, the wives are returning back to their husbands now, where the price is going up again. But yeah, everything that goes up very, very high comes down very, very low. Okay, so if you have an overperforming coin in the bull run, just remember, the higher it goes, the lower it comes. Okay, so here you have a great gaming coin, in my opinion, Vulcan Forged. Go do your own research, watch what it is. Now it's its own layer 1, and it's a gaming developer blockchain. It's not a layer 2, so it's its own blockchain. And very important people in the gaming, crypto gaming space are very interested in this project, involved in this project, etc. So also this coin, I believe, and they have 50 million in supply, so it's basically a little bit more than 2 times more than Bitcoin, which means this price can go very high. Okay, the most conservative target we have here, I don't even know why I have all this. So we could see a $100 to $300 Vulcan Forge, okay, which from here would be a 30x, okay, a little bit more. So it's not when everything is going to an all-time high you need to buy. Here you have now a sideways consolidation that broke out, and here once you see a correction, if it's not already too late, you can accumulate. Okay, don't just FOMO into the top, because that makes no sense either. Okay, wait for a correction. If it is not happening, there will be another project for you. Okay, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of projects. Thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. We will see us in the next days. I hope the sound and everything is great. If there is something that you want me to change or to make it better, just let me know, because I'm not hearing myself. I will rewatch the video, and I will try, if there is some particular thing in the video that is for me most important, I cut it out and I re-upload a new cutted video of that particular scene in the live, because I don't want to be live anymore for 3 hours, because people will not watch my live all through. So that's why if I have a long live, that then I take the most important parts and re-upload them and make a shorter video. Maybe make from a 30-minute or 1 hour live stream a 6-minute to 10-minute video where there is very important information in it. Then if you watch until the end and you are still listening, I would really appreciate if you give me your questions to go over, because in moments like this I mean, I am not the type of guy giving you every single news out there and going over you on CoinDesk and reading you the news, because everyone can read the news themselves. I am more here to give you a chart perspective, to give you my proper mindset, and that's all, you know, and enjoying the time. It's just about that. And then, of course, trying to identify when we need to sell, or I will tell you when I sell or would sell. Okay, so all these, let's say, chart things, or everything that has to do with the charts, I am strong. I am not the greatest fundamental analyst. I'm doing my own research on my own few projects that I really like. But for the most of the time, I predict and I see future price movements in the charts. And you need to understand that news and fundamentals just often reinforces a chart setup. Okay? Fundamentals are which are news that move the market, but technical analysis show you the direction it will go, okay, in most cases. So maybe tomorrow, let's say for example for XRP, maybe tomorrow you will see the price at, let's say, $3. So you will go check for news to understand what pushed the price so quick at $3. But I can already tell you now when the pump comes, where it will go. Exactly, the first pump. Okay, so I'm not here to make predictions, but I tell you, if you want to get really strong in these markets, you need to understand TA. No matter who says it, TA is making you lose money. TA is this. Okay, 90% of people lose money in trading and TA, but there are a few people that just get it. Okay, we just get it, and that's the most important thing. I saw the Bitcoin top happening on the charts, not on fundamental news. Okay, so that was it. I wish you a great evening, a great day, and see you soon. Bye bye.